Welcome to the Rooted Goddess podcast with your host, Leslie Sprague, where we talk all things wellness, woo-woo, life, and everything in between. As a small-town mom of two amazing kiddos, I understand the challenges of what it's like to stay grounded and go after your dreams. My goal for this podcast is to inspire you to root down so you can grow stronger, rise up, and let your light shine bright so you can be the goddess you are truly meant to be. Think of this as your one-stop shop. It's happy hour with a gal pal while getting truthful and heartfelt about taking the steps forward to living your best life. Welcome to the Rooted Goddess podcast. I'm your host, Leslie Sprague. So today I want to possibly introduce a new concept. So I want to talk about your higher self. Some of you may have heard of this before. Some of you may not have heard of this before, but essentially we're talking about that different version of you. And you know what? This exists in everyday life all the time, and you might not realize it. We have so many versions of us. For me, there's the mom version of me. There's the daughter version of me, the friend version of me, the boss babe of me, the yogi in me. And there's all these different versions, right? But all these versions come together to make me, me. And we often find that we are the hardest on ourselves. I personally experience this. I never think that I'm doing enough or being enough, or it's a little bit about that self-worth image. And so in a sense, that person, that version of us that we are always comparing ourselves to is quote unquote our higher level self. And it's interesting because we're always comparing to her. And when we think of her, it's immediately followed by thoughts of doubt and worry and fears and all these things. Well, I can't be her. That just doesn't work. But what if I told you you could step into her? You could be her right now. And I'm not saying that you're not perfect the way you are. But if there's things that you're constantly working towards, or you know what, maybe it's the complete opposite not opposite, but if you're a complete workaholic and you're envious of the person who has a work-life balance and you want to be that, but you can't detach from the workaholic person. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. You can step into that person. I want to explain it a little bit like this. When you think of your favorite radio station, I guarantee that immediately either the hosts have popped into your mind, or the station channel number, or maybe their jingle, or whatever it is. Something has immediately attracted you to that radio station. Just like you're turning the dial to your favorite radio station, it can be the same with vibrations and energy too. Because if you think of when you are feeling, I'm switching gears for a second here. When you're feeling sad, it doesn't feel good in your body. that is a vibration. That is a frequency, so to speak. Whereas if you think about the opposite, when you are blissed out of your mind, or there is so much love in your life and happiness, that is a higher vibration, a higher frequency, if that makes sense. So just like there's those vibrations on the emotional scale, you can change which vibration that you choose to go into, but there's also different vibrations for people. So I'm going to do a little exercise with you here right now. I want you to, and you know what, actually it's not just people that you think of that have vibrations. It's really everything. So we're going to do a little exercise here. And just to get you like recognizing and thinking about the like vibrations as an energy. So if you're not driving while you're listening to this, I invite you to close your eyes. Close your eyes for a moment and take a couple deep breaths. If you're driving, please do this with your eyes open. That would be greatly appreciated for myself and everybody else who's around you on the road. Okay, so now that you're connected with your breath, you're centered, I want you to picture your grandmother. See how easy that was? Like you immediately, there was something that triggered you about her. Whether you pictured her in your mind's eye, you smelt her perfume or her home cooking, or you know, there was something that triggered you to her. So you're tuning into her frequency. I want you to think about your first car. Instantly, you're taken back to that car. You're either picturing it, you're reliving a moment in time when you were driving it. For me, it was a I don't even remember the year, 1998 Pontiac Sunfire. 2-door, blue Pontiac Sunfire. I was a bitchy teenager because my father made me learn how to drive a standard car. I was so mad at him. But now I am so eternally grateful that he did that, because now I can drive standard. And I find it so fun when I get in a car that is standard. Like, I imagine I'm Mario Andretti and driving race cars. Like I find it very fun, and I'm gonna pass it on to my kids too, as much as they may not like it. But sorry, totally like random story for you there. But yeah, you're immediately transported to that time. I want you to think of a moment when you were very, very sad. You can almost feel that instantly in your body. For me, right now, my eyes are watering up at the moment that came to my mind. I want you to now, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to switch to one of the happiest moments in your life to date. Well, and like, this isn't actually really a good moment at the moment because I still have water in my eyes, but I was instantly transported to that moment when I first held my kids. and the awe and the wonder of these beautiful beings that came from me. So yeah, so the tears are still there, but they're different frequency of tears. So now that you've kind of got the hang of this, or the idea behind the different frequencies, I want you to envision that higher level self of you. So maybe that higher level, let's pick a goal actually. If there's something that you have been wanting in your life for a while, or maybe it's something new you've been wanting, whether it's a career goal, maybe you want to start a business, or maybe it's a health goal, or anything that you have been dreaming of achieving. Take a moment. This is going to be a little bit harder to do. Possibly. Hey, for you, it might not be. Maybe it'll be like a snap like that. But I want you to envision that person that you ultimately want that from that goal. Who do you want to become from that goal? How do you see yourself? So take a moment, close your eyes if they're still closed. Envision that person standing right in front of you. You're looking at her. What qualities are you noticing about her? How does her energy feel? How do people interact with her? How are her relationships? How is her lifestyle? So now what I want you to do is I want you to step into that person. Use your imagination here. Step into her. Put her on like a pair of shoes, and then pull up her pair of pants or skirt or dress, whatever she's wearing. Put on her top, and then put on her head like you would a helmet. How does that feel when you tune into that vibration of her, that version of you? How does that feel? When you are embodying her, what does it feel like? How do you carry yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Do you question the things that the previous version of you would question? Do you worry about the things that the previous version of you would worry about? Are you scared to do something that the previous version of you was scared to do? How are your relationships? How is your lifestyle? How is your family? How is your business or your career? And what's your income like? So you can keep her on and walk around in her. You can do this exercise as many times as you want. Tap into her. And if you have any questions, and you know what, speaking of questions, if you have any questions about what you should be doing in life or where you need to go, like if you're working on a specific project, me, for example, I have been lacking in my social media posts, and I'm okay with it. But at the same time, part of me knows that my higher level self would have these things planned out so that I'm not lacking on the social front, because I have to put myself out there. If I don't put myself out there, people won't know about my business and my services and about my desire to help women step into that highest level self of themselves, and to live their best life, because, sweetheart, you get to feel good. You get to live the way you want to live. You get to create your life the way you want to. It is possible. We just have to get out of our own way. So, in closing, I feel very formal saying that. In closing, it's like doing a speech for the school or something, or closing arguments. Anyway, in closing, now I've completely lost what I was going to say there. Yeah. If you have any questions about like stepping into your higher level self, or want to discuss things like this further, hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM, or wherever you want to hit me up from, Facebook, however you want to do it. And I would love to explore this topic further with you. I hope you are having an amazingly awesome, feel-good day. Namaste, goddesses. Thank you so much for listening, and let me give you a virtual hug, big squeeze, as a token of my appreciation. At the very least, I hope you had some fun while listening, and maybe even learned a thing or two. And bonus points if I got a chuckle out of you. If you liked this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could leave me a 5-star review, or if you know someone who could benefit from listening, share it on your Insta stories and tag me at Leslie's Yoga and Wellness. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with new episodes. By doing these things, it helps to get my podcast noticed so that people who need to hear my message are more attracted to it. Please feel free to stop by my website, lesliespragg.com, and grab a copy of my free Mom Self-Care Kit. While you're there, grab a free few yoga classes. Namaste, goddesses. Until next time.